Virgo, how are you? My name's Danielle. Welcome to Moonlight Intuition. This is going to be a general reading for you. And if there are messages that resonate with you in the reading, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I do post free weekly readings for all 12 signs. Oh, I'm pet sitting. Oh, there's a cat. Can't hide that. I'm a professional pet sitter, so there's always animals around me. Hi. What was I saying? Okay, this reading, I feel like you had like a similar spread last week. Can't make this shit up. Yeah, like I almost feel like you had the same cards last week. But anyway, I digress. Oh, the cat. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, all the info for that is in the description box below. This cat is just like, my readings just always have to be at least somewhat chaotic, which is how I like it. Hi, kitty. Okay, Virgo. I honestly, like, I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like you had a similar vibe last week, which I love. Now, first of all, you are appearing as yourself in this reading. We have the Hermit reversed. So the Hermit is you. So whenever you appear as yourself in a reading, I think it's very positive. It's like the universe is like, hello, like we are speaking directly to you. Okay, next we have the Strength card. This is big Leo energy. I know this card was in your reading last week, and I feel like this one... Now, this card is coming up a lot for everybody. Oh my God, I'm her butt. Like, here's a cat butthole. Why not? Like, why not, right? This cat is pure love. I actually love this for you. I feel like it's like... the cat is for you, Virgo. I feel like you need like some like love and tenderness or something, or like snuggling an animal would feel nice to you right now. I don't know why. There's like something about like maybe you need like a little bit of softness for your heart right now. Now we have the Ten of Swords reversed. This card is coming up, or has been anyway, for like everybody. This is like the main card. I feel like this and like the Page of Wands, because there's a lot of just about like ending cycles. Now, first of all, right out of the gate, I do think you are ending a cycle. I mean, everyone kind of is, but especially for you, I mean, we're ending Pisces season. Pisces season was probably like kind of fucked up for you because Pisces is your opposing sign. So you are a mutable earth sign. Mutable meaning you're one of the signs that ends one of the 4 seasons. So in your case, you're the sign that ends summer. And then Pisces is your perfectly opposing sign on the other side of the axis. It's a mutable water sign. So your earth, it's like the body, you end summer. Pisces is water. So it's like dreamy, mystical, magical emotions, like escapism, like delusions even sometimes. And it's a mutable water sign, and Pisces ends winter. So it's like the sister sign. So Pisces is basically your sister sign. And there's something about the sister signs that is like so fucking beautiful. But these dynamics can be very triggering, because what Pisces has is what lacks in you, Virgo, and vice versa. So what Virgo has is what lacks in Pisces. So we've been in this whole season of kind of what lacks in you. So it might have been kind of triggering for you the last while. Good news is Pisces season is almost over. Thank God. I'm kind of over it. I'm ready for a new, fresh, like fiery season, which is coming up in a few days. So I'm doing this reading on March 15th. Aries season, and the entire new energetic year starts on the 19th. The spring equinox, the new energetic year. It's going to be fire energy. We're going to be taking action again soon. So I think if this season was kind of heavy on you, and also too, we had a new moon the other day, also in Pisces. So new moons for me used to really rock me before I was like aware and like kind of, you know, just before I was more aware. So even the new moon, which was on Sunday, this past Sunday. So today I'm doing this on Friday, March 15th. The new moon was on Sunday, whatever date that was. It was the day of the Oscars. I think the 10th. I don't know, whatever. So even if you can kind of pay attention to how your life has been from like even the new moon to now, like it might have been very like, might have kind of like knocked you on your ass a bit. And if it did, it's almost to know it's like, it's a collective experience, right? But especially for you, Virgo, so it was kind of like the new moon in your opposing sign in the season of your opposing sign. So it's like all these things that are like, hey, Virgo, maybe you should try on a bit more of like, you know, leaning into the mysticism of life and into the magic of life. It's like all of that is almost being like, hello. And it's like, no, I like things a certain way, right? You know what I mean? So just know that if you still are maybe a bit like knocked over by it, you are not alone. It's just kind of the energy. It's kind of just nature occurring. And just know that it's like you are going to, it's like after anything, like any kind of storm, basically like you are going to kind of like feel clarity. You're going to feel good again. Like this is just how this works. And it's like, it's almost like after a big storm, it's like crazy outside and then the storm subsides. Is there any better feeling than like the weather right after a storm? Like you go out and it's maybe even kind of still overcast, but like the air is so renewed and fresh, and you kind of hear birds in the distance that are like, you know, resurfacing, and there's dewdrops on the trees. So it's like you are, if you're not already there, I feel like maybe you're, you know, not quite yet. You are going to get there again. So it's like, and all these things usually like when we have like a personal storm, it usually just brings kind of more clarity, right? So just know that it's like, you almost have to just like, and I know saying this to a Virgo is like, but it's like to kind of, again, maybe, and even if what I'm saying, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? To like try it on, to be like, okay, maybe that is true. Maybe there are kind of forces or cycles of nature, cycles of the cosmos that are just beyond my control. There, maybe I'll try it on and consider that it's like me, I'm one human being in the physical world, part of how many people on earth now? 7 billion. And then there's also a metaphysical world of like, you know, I mean, even if you're like, no, there's no metaphysical world. It's like, there's a lot of things here on earth that we cannot see. Think of colors. Think of the color spectrum. There's like Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, blah, blah, blah. Then on the other side of red, there's infrared that we cannot see with the naked eye. Then there's side of violet, which is at the end of the rainbow. There's ultraviolet, which we cannot see. Right? So there's just things here that we cannot see in the physical world. So to consider, Virgo, and this is like the good news, that maybe you being one human being out of billions and billions of people in this physical world, which only makes up half of the reality, there's still the metaphysical world, that maybe it's okay to be like, okay, there are just certain things that are beyond my control. And you're like, no, there isn't. But it's like, there are, right? And to try it on. And I think it's like this card, the Hermit. The Hermit is you. It's you. It's a card of deep inner wisdom. It's a card of kind of the past, too. It's a card of introspection, really like I kind of, you know, taking time to yourself. But when it's reversed, it can veer on isolation a little bit. And maybe that's kind of like, maybe you're kind of like in a little bit of a forced isolation right now. Like maybe you're kind of like, I can't people right now. And that's okay. I think it's like, you'll probably just naturally come out of it soon if you are kind of in that place. Or even if you are kind of like out and about, maybe you feel kind of a bit guarded. I don't know why. It's like, this is more like just intuitive. I feel like you're just going to naturally come out of it soon. So it's less like having to do anything. It's almost like, which I know for a Virgo to be like, just wait it out. But I feel like that's just kind of what's going to happen for you. And I think you're going to come out of this particular, and again, this is like the end of a cycle. I just think you're maybe still closing it off. I like the Ten of Swords because it's just the end of a cycle. And it's almost like surrendering to it. It's just kind of like, okay, I have 10 swords in me. I can't do anything. I'm just going to fucking lay here. It's like, and just wait till the swords just fall out, right? So I think it's like, you're just going to come out of it. There's not going to be like this big like thing you need to do, which is usually your go-to, right? Usually it's like, I have to fix this. I have to like control this. I have to problem solve this. I have to, and I think you're just going to kind of naturally come out of this current little cycle that you're in. And you might just like have new clarity, right? Because usually this card, like the Hermit, it's like the Hermit holds this lantern, and this lantern is lit and warmed by the past, by inner wisdom, by mistakes, experiences, lessons learned, bridges burned, all the thing. It's like basically the past. It's like everything you've experienced up until now. And even what I just said, now that's in the past, right? Then everything, it's like, so basically your whole past is in this lantern. And that's what lights the Hermit's way forward. And I think it's like you might find yourself kind of in the next few days, like when the new energetic year starts, you might find yourself kind of like having a clarity that you've never had before. And really, and how the Hermit moves forward is really one step at a time, because that's all he or she can see. He or she can only see what's lit by the lantern. So you might kind of find yourself at a new place in your life that's different for you. That's kind of like, okay, usually I'm like 25 steps ahead. I'm just going to do that. And you might find yourself at a new, like, okay, fine, I'll course correct and go with the flow. Like, you know what I mean? You might be resistant to it. And I love it. I think it's brilliant. I think you're brilliant, Virgo. But it's like, I think you're going to find yourself at like moving ahead in a different way, in a kind of maybe slower way, because maybe you're more open to like, okay, into the watery nature of life, into like, well, yeah, things aren't just, and I am merely one human. Clearly, I cannot control the entire reality of things happening around me. I'm just one person, right? So I think it's like, just to know, Virgo, and this is the way, and you're so smart and you're so intuitive, more than you're giving yourself credit for, because you are very earthly. But I think you're going to start stepping into this part of yourself more and starting to see that it's like, yeah, okay, everything that's happened to me in the past, there's no point in like beating myself up, trying to control it. Also trying to control the past. I mean, that's literally impossible. It's like, we cannot, it's just a waste of your energy, right? And really it's like, to unfreeze yourself from this ice is to like put that lantern to your feet and set yourself free and be like, okay, one thing at a time. I can only see in front of me because of this lantern. So I'm going to step there. Okay. Now I can see the next step. And it's like the Hermit, it's like a nighttime card. And just know, it's like, well, what happens at the nighttime? The day always comes. The daytime will come. So soon, it's like, just trust. I feel like soon. And this is a strength card. This is like a Leo card. So for some of you, you might have a Leo in your life, but it's like a card. Leo is ruled by the sun. So it's kind of amazing. It's like a nighttime card, followed by a daytime card. Look at this yellow card. So it's like, just know that like soon, sometimes we feel very kind of lost. And yeah, it's like if the power went out, right? And you're like, okay, I only have a flashlight, but the power eventually comes back on. And then you're like, okay, I can see everything again. So it's like, just trust that it's like, the day will come. The day is coming. And I think you're going to enter a completely fresh perspective of life, right? In a positive way. But I know change is, right? And I think it's like, this is really called the strength card. I know you had this card last week. And usually when cards repeats, the universe is like, I meant what I said. And I mean, really the strength card is about strength through vulnerability. And I mean, this woman is putting her hand in the lion's mouth, which is a very emboldened thing to do. It's a very like vulnerable thing to do. And it's a thing not a lot of people would do. And I think it's like, you might be stepping into a place of doing things not by following the herd or by like, you know what I mean? Or by what anyone is telling you, or even by what you are trying to tell you or convince yourself of. It's going to be truly maybe from like following your true desires and your true heart and truly what makes you happy, not based on a kind of like perfectly laid out plan. But it's like, and of course, Virgo, you are always going to plan and but I think you're going to be more open to being like, okay, the plan, it might be like, okay, just step one, like I feel myself, instead of being like, this makes practical sense. And of course, practicality is good. Sometimes I like that. I'm a water sign. I'm like, oh my God, all earth signs. I'm like, help me. And you do. I've learned so much from earth signs. I have so many earth signs in my life. It's like, and it's amazing. But I think it's like, you might be starting to, at least even being open to, even if you are like, okay, this is the plan, that the plan's probably not going to go according to plan. And that like things that are taken away from you, as hard as it is, it's like, it's usually because something better is coming. I mean, me quickly, just to be like, I mean, I was looking for an apartment. Well, I wasn't even really looking. The first year I wasn't. And then the last year I've been like, okay, I want it, but I wasn't really ready. Like now it makes sense. Like financially, I wasn't ready. I wasn't looking at my finances at all. I wasn't like, so, and now I have been. And basically like, I think like 7 sublet situations that I thought were going to turn into a long-term thing fell through, and it was disappointing. And I almost got like resigned to it. I was like, okay. And then kind of out of nowhere, the perfect living situation that's like $800 cheaper than anywhere else in the city, that ticks all the boxes for me. It ticks all the boxes. Panned out. I signed the lease today. Sent the money. It's happening. I'm moving in 2 weeks. And so it's like, to trust that it's like, sometimes even like what we want, we will get it. Just not in the way that we think we'll get it or when, right? So it's like me. It's like, well, yeah, but I want this condo. And it's like, and now I'm like, well, no, I don't. I want this. I want the thing I got in the end. It's way better. But it's like, at the time, these disappointments, to at least be open to that trust that it's like, okay, it's like a good affirmation is like, if not this, then something better, right? Disappointments, right? It's like, the universe knows better than you. And so again, it's kind of coming back to that theme of like, perhaps there is some things that are just beyond your control, dear Virgo. And, you know, the Strength card is, I think, kind of like where you're heading a little bit. And that might be scary for you. That's why this is kind of reversed. It's like, no, you know, it's like new territory for you to maybe be more, like have a kind of more softness to life and like being like, okay, I really wanted this. And like, even when you do face a disappointment, to take the time to like grieve that too, right? To take the time for yourself and be like, yeah, like I really wanted that. But okay, something better is coming. And when disappointments happen, it's like, we can't change it. We can't control it. And to find that trust, because it really is how it works. It's like something better just comes up, and not in the way that you think, right? I love you, Virgo. I think you're fabulous. I wish you a good rest of Pisces season. There's just a few days left. Hang in there. And then, yeah, you're fabulous. You're fantastic. You're on the right path. You're amazing. You're capable of anything. And Aries season is very soon. So I hope you're getting excited for the spring equinox. I love you, Virgo. Have a nice day.